Good afternoon and thank you for joining us for coverage of our Saturday evening fixture in round 10 of the FOSROC Super Series Championship. And what better way to bring a bit of sunshine to a wet and miserable Meggetland than with an Edinburgh derby. It's 6th against 3rd as Boroughmuir Bears take on near neighbours Watsonians Rugby. I'm joined in commentary this evening by former Scotland fullback and an ex-Boroughmuir Bear, Tom Brown.
Oh yeah, it's good to be here. Thank you very much, Bruce. To be honest, I'm quite surprised the game was going ahead, but just heard that there was a game that was cancelled before this to allow this game to go ahead. So excited to be here. Obviously it's a derby match, which is always very exciting, but looking forward to this one.
Says, as you mentioned there, the game before this one was called off due to the weather up at Bridge Hawk. This one goes ahead, but well, in fact you can see that on there. We'll get you the other score lines at the end of the game this evening. But yes, the weather's bound to have an impact today. How do you see it affecting the proceedings?
Yeah, definitely. Meggetland's an interesting one. You know, you've got the kind of the slope on the pitch as well. But obviously the weather's going to play a huge part in this game. I think the game will ultimately be won and lost in the big boys up front, and obviously how the Tens manage the game and how they control the game. Obviously, just seeing Colleen Burrito there coming out for the Bears, which is good to see him back in a Bears jersey, but he'll have a big impact today, I'm sure.
Well, Boroughmuir Bears going through the final stages of their warm-up. Let's take the chance to have a look at the two sides. So the home side, first of all, and Arthur Allen, the only change in the front five as Corey Tate is away with Glasgow this weekend, and Allen alongside Ian Carmichael and Martin McGinley in the front row. Max Laboda and Jack Fisher combine in the second row, and Craig Kerry, co-captain, returns to the pack in the back row alongside Kieran Westlake and Tristan Andrews. Colleen Barretto and George Paul, the half-back pairing. Co-captain Scott Robson alongside Alex Tom in the centres, and Ewan Muirhead returns to the back three alongside Mason Cullen and Joe Jenkins. Callum Hunter, an emergency loan player from Falkirk, on a strong looking bench for the home side. And the visitors, vice-captain Jake Kerr in the front row alongside Craig Davidson and Gregor Skugel. Alfie Scopes returns after playing for Edinburgh last week into the second row alongside Kieran Watt, with a strong back row made up of Lewis Ball, Carol Main and Quagga van Nieuwkerk. Murdo Bukandru comes into the starting team alongside captain Lee Miller, and Freddie Owsley also returns to the back division with Lewis Berg and George Pringle in the midfield, and Scott King, Dom Cootser alongside Owsley in the back three. Look out for the guile of Jason Baggett and the pace and footwork of Loman McPherson later in the game. It looks like it will be Boroughmuir Bears to kick off. The referee out in the middle this evening, Keane Davison, assisted by David Chang-Leng and Bob Nevins. It's George Paul, who's been an impressive addition to the Boroughmuir Bears squad. He will kick us off. It's been a tough few weeks for the Bears. They've been missed the last 3 weeks with the off week and the postponement of their game against the FOSROC Future 15. So they're perhaps a little rusty. They'll have to get into their game quickly against a very strong Watsonians Rugby side, and it's the visitors with early possession inside their own half over on the far side of the pitch. Murdo McAndrew setting up the caterpillar of forwards in front of him and sends that one over the top of the breakdown, taken well at the back by Tristan Andrews. Bears number 8, and Barretto whips that ball away to Arthur Allen, who's met hard by the Watsonians defence. Barretto having to dig for this, and the referee says Watsonians guilty of not rolling away, so an advantage here for the home side. Back to go out to the midfield with Arthur Allen getting hands on ball again. Barretto to Paul, and the ball out the back to Keddy, the captain, back in the starting side this week. Barretto again just takes a couple of steps and sends it behind the forwards. Ball lost though, the referee saying no advantage, and he'll go back to the penalty for the Bears.
Yeah, absolutely. We know this game's going to be a scrappy game here. Obviously, the penalty was given to Boroughmuir there. I think there's a game that's going to be key is discipline here and game management. Boroughmuir obviously going through the phases a little bit when they got that penalty, but I'd like to see them change it up a bit, maybe a little chip, something to kind of stress Watsonians out. Just a free ball there, but anyway, back for the penalty and a good touch finder from George Paul.
Yeah, that Watsonians defence, typically one of the best in the competition. You have to be a little bit more inventive perhaps to find a way through them. That's a fantastic attacking position here for Boroughmuir Bears. The game only 2 minutes old. Assistant referee over on the far side, Bob Nevins.
Yeah, this will be an interesting area. I actually commentated on the previous match, Watsonians versus Boroughmuir, and Boroughmuir really struggled in this area of the pitch. Obviously, a great defence from Watsonians. So hopefully they've learned from this bit, and we'll see some big ball carries from the Bears. Well,
it's taken by Andrews, and the line out throw in by Arthur Allen, and it's the hooker who fights his way towards the Watsonians try line. Solid defence by Watsonians. Put the Bears on the back foot. Martin McGinley this time will be the ball carrier. Slow ball again. Craig Keddy digging for that one. Referee again playing an advantage. Boroughmuir Bears again using Arthur Allen, and the ball out the back. Out it goes to Alex Tom. He's dragged down by Lewis Berg right in front of the Watsonians posts. The referee blows for the whistle. He'll go back for the penalty to Boroughmuir Bears, but early pressure here for the home side.
Yeah, good start from the Bears. You just like to see in the first match that we watched, they're quite static when they come to this area of the pitch. If they can get around the corner with a bit of pace, try and beat that defence, try and win those collisions, but obviously another opportunity here, and it looks like they're going for the corner.
Yes, George Paul stabs that ball into touch, 5 metres out from the Watsonians try line, so another opportunity here for the Bears. Arthur Allen back in the starting lineup today at hooker. Went for Tristan Andrews on the previous occasion. This time it's Jack Fisher the target, and again the ball fed back to the hooker. And the Bears look well set in this maul. In goes Andrews, and see the ball in the bottom there, as does the referee. Awards the try to Arthur Allen. The hooker going over. Good work by the Boroughmuir Bears pack, winning the line out, well set at the maul. It's an early score for Boroughmuir Bears. They lead 5 points to 0. Yeah,
great start from the Bears. This was an area that they do tend to struggle in historically, but a really well executed line out, well set maul, and driving Watsonians over the line is no mean feat. So a great start from the Bears.
So Arthur Allen, in his return to the starting lineup, he scored a number of tries from similar positions this season, very prolific. Goes over for the first try of the game, a difficult conversion attempt for George Paul from out wide. But really, Boroughmuir Bears, as I was saying, they'll perhaps feel a little rusty. They've had 3 weeks off, and that came off the back of 3 consecutive losses. And if they've got hopes of appearing in the playoffs at the end of the season, they really have to find some form today. George Paul catches that one nicely, but fades across in front of the upright, so unable to add the extras, but Boroughmuir Bears with the early lead.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, Bruce, with your comment before. You can take it in 2 ways. You can look at it and say they could be a bit rusty, but actually they could use that week to recharge the batteries and have a really good analysis of Watsonians, which I'm sure Sheely would have done in the build up to this match.
Ball taken by Tristan Andrews from the restart just outside his 22. Colleen Barreto waiting on this one, coming back. It goes to McGinley. Barreto just setting up the kick. Jack Fisher there has some protection. And the Bears scrum half sends that one long downfield. Taken by Dom Coutser under some pressure there from Joe Jenkins. The Bears left wing, it's Watsonians in possession. And about their 10-metre line, Lee Miller just drops the ball off there to Quagga van Niekerk. And Miller again looks for space in behind. Swivels round, but that one read well by Joe Jenkins. Didn't quite get his kick right, that's gone out on the full. Left wing, he saw where the space was, but just couldn't quite execute the kick. And we'll come all the way back for the line out in the Bears half.
Yeah, I was unlucky from Joe. I know he's been working on his kicking a lot. It was pleasing to see though the exit game from the Bears is an area where sometimes, you know, when I certainly used to play for the Bears, we used to struggle a little bit, but a little bit frantic at times. But that looked really controlled, obviously, with Cleem and George Paul there. And as we've spoken about before, the kicking battle is going to be key in a day like today.
Not the tidiest of lineouts from Watsonians, but it does come back on their side. Jake Kerr, the hooker, winning that one. However, guilty of then holding on the ground. His support a bit slow coming in. Penalty to the Bears.
Yeah, you don't often see a 9 getting the jackal, but Cleem Barreto's obviously a class act. You know, I've played with him for many years, and obviously part of that GB squad going into the new season. So it's great to see him on the pitch today.
Jake Kerr, the Watsonians hooker, it's an excellent season. One cap, back north of the border now. Played a bit in the back row, but predominantly a hooker. It's the Bears hooker, Arthur Allen. Only try scorer of the game so far, standing with ball in hand. Gets his instructions from Ian Carmichael. Another good attacking opportunity here for the home side. 5+1 line out taken by Tristan Andrews. Again, the ball fed back to Allen. The Bears very well organised in this area of the game. Watsonians have managed to disrupt that when Allen breaks away, but quick ball for Kaleem Barreto. He just uses the forwards. Arthur Allen again heavily involved in the action in the opening 9 or 10 minutes. George Paul pulls the ball back to Joe Jenkins, goes looking for work off his left wing. He's a busy player, fights his way forward another metre or two. Barreto again to Paul, out to Kieran Westlake. Bears just going through the phases nicely here, and then Barreto thinks he sees space in behind, but well read by Watsonians left wing Freddie Owsley. Calls for the mark, and a chance here for Watsonians to send that ball up the left touchline.
Yeah, well read there from Freddie. Obviously, Clean thought there was a little bit of space. I like the change up though. Obviously, a day like today, you're going to be looking for your forwards to be working hard. I know Boroughmuir like to throw the ball wide and play a bit. That's in their DNA. But obviously, a day like today, you're going to have to change that tactic. But no, it was a good change up of play, and obviously another good attacking platform here.
Allen again to Tristan Andrews. Allen just trying to get his forwards going towards the Watsonians line. Now they get some forward momentum, but Kaleem Barreto decides to break away. A little bit tight in there, but Mason Cullen somehow finds some space up into the Watsonians 22, keeps the ball alive, can't be taken by Fisher. Unlucky, a wonderful break there by Mason Cullen. And the Bears looking dangerous in the early stages of this game.
Yeah, Mason Cullen's been a good addition to the Bears, obviously former Watsonians player, so a big boost for the Bears. But lovely feet there, finding a space, and I thought he was in for the try, but well covered again by Freddie and Murdo there. And Jack Fisher following up, didn't quite have the pace to pick that one up off his bootlaces, but I'm sure he'll have his chance to shine in this match as well.
Another player who's had a very strong season so far, Jack Fisher. prominent in the line out for the Bears, but also an open play.
Yeah, I like Jack. He's a young boy. He works hard. You know, he's a good character around the Bears squad as well. Always liked a good gossip, but he's always ever improving, and you know, he's a bit of a shoe-in now in this Bears team. So you know, good to see him doing so well.
Ian Carmichael, the Bears loose head, penalised at scrum time. That allows Lee Miller, the Watsonians captain, to take play outside the Watsonians 22. Let's make a huge amount of distance on that one. And Jake Kerr will look to be a little more accurate than he was with his last throw. Challenged in the air again, but it's taken by Alfie Scopes. Back in the team after featuring for Edinburgh last weekend. Murdo McAndrew just biding his time here. Sends that one long downfield. Can't be taken cleanly by Mason Cullen. Ian Muirhead goes in to help. No knock on. Colleen Barretto just does a quick look to see where the space is when he finds it down that right touchline. Carl Main making the tackle on Jack Fisher. And then Craig Keddy, the co-captain, with the carry. And the Bears just on their own side of halfway, looking again to set up the kick.
I like this. This is an area where the Bears might look to play sometimes, but I think it's a good tactic putting that up even on the halfway line. They've got some front foot ball, but doing that in the air, I don't think that's a bad option today.
It was dealt with well by Dom Coetzer. His handling conditions bound to be difficult. Huge amount of rain in the capital all over Scotland today. Taken at the back by Ewan Muirhead, another player who's had a strong season. Got a few tries to his name. That one was kicked from just outside the 22. Bounces only just, I think, in the field of play. Joe Jenkins suggesting there to David Chang Leng that it had perhaps gone out in the full. I think it bounced just in the field of play, and it's a good clearing kick.
That was a good clearance. We mentioned the halfbacks having a big role in this match with the game management, but the back three as well. So a couple of good kicks there. Obviously a bit of an up and under there from the Bears. I would like to see that probably contested a little bit more pressure on that return kick, just giving them a bit of time just to make a good clearance over the halfway. So yeah, no, good play from both teams.
Can only be tapped back by Jack Fisher, and Watsonians come flooding through and snap that one up. And play now just outside the Bears 22. Watsonians forwards going to work now. Loose ball driven backwards. It's a good tackle by Tristan Andrews. Two back rows going head to head. And then Lewis Berg playing inside centre. He's typically been an outside centre for most of his career. Watsonians haven't managed to make much ground, but play over on the far side now. Craig Davidson stepped up from the Watsonians club team this season. That ball had come out, the referee said, and Kieran Westlake was alert to it. Came round to make the tackle, but then has given away the penalty. So initially good defence by Boroughmuir Bears. You can see Westlake there coming round. The referee, I think, is perhaps indicating, is it high tackle in the end? Either way, penalty to Watsonians and a chance to set up camp inside the Bears 22.
Yeah, I spoke at the beginning how discipline's going to be key here in the first leg. It was Jake Kerr who got the 3 tries from situations like this, where there was penalty, kick to the corner, and then Watsonians, we know they've got a very strong driving maul. So Bears have to be really disciplined when it comes to this area of the pitch.
Watsonians with their first real opportunity, and they find Alfie Scopes there, and the ball fed back to the hooker Jake Kerr, and they've got some momentum here now. This will be very difficult for the Bears to stop. Jake Kerr in control of this, dives over the line, and a try is awarded. And Jake Kerr, the Watsonians vice captain, with the reply. His opposite number Arthur Allen scoring at the other end around 10 minutes or so ago. Jake Kerr levels the scores. It's Boroughmuir Bears 5, Watsonians Rugby 5.
Okay, a try there for Watsonians Rugby, which makes the score 5-all, and we think the try scorer was Watsonians hooker Jake Kerr.
You see the replay there, the Boroughmuir Bears defence just splintering. Watsonians very well organised, very, very physical pack. And Jake Kerr just had to bide his time, stay in control at the back of that maul.
Yeah, I mentioned it before, being a real strength of Watsonians, Jake Kerr getting 3 tries in the previous match and ultimately getting man of the match. So it's an area that I know Boroughmuir will be aware of. You know, really pleasing to see that their attacking maul was great down the other end, but they just need to work on that defensive maul.
Lee Millar, a very difficult conversion from out wide on the left. Just nudges his side ahead. It's Bears 5, Watsonians 7, and you mentioned, Tom, that reverse fixture. I perhaps should have mentioned that at the start. It was won by Watsonians back at the start of August, 33 points to 7. That's well taken from the restart by Plugger van Nieuwkerk above his head. Murdo McAndrew will just set up the kick here. It's charged down by Jack Fisher. And chases through. Lee Millar has to tidy up. We've already mentioned Jack Fisher. Great work there by the Bears second row.
Yeah, no, really good play from Jack, using that big frame of him to get to the ball, charge down, and made a good follow-up as well. So, as I said, lots of improvement from Jack. He's still a youngster, but he's got good physicality. You know, he's a real shoe-in when it comes into this Boroughmuir Bears pack at the moment. So, a really good play from Jack there.
Tristan Andrews for the third time the target in the line out, and it's Arthur Allen in possession now at the back of this maul. Bears just struggling to get any go forward here. Colleen Barreto, his hands on the ball, he whips it out to his captain Scott Robson. He's met hard by Carol Main. Barreto again, just waiting on the forwards coming around the corner. It's Tristan Andrews now takes play into the 22. Craig Kerry in there, secure possession, and Barreto goes back the other way. George Paul has a little look himself just to keep that ball alive. Nobody on hand, so back it comes to Kieran Westlake, driven into contact by Tristan Andrews. Boroughmuir Bears very close now. McGinley, a tight head prop with the carry, 10 metres away from the try line. Forwards just looking to punch holes through this Watsonians defence. Max Laboda this time, however, holding on in the deck. And good defence there by Watsonians, won themselves a penalty.
Yeah, initially good work there from the Bears. You just see they just got a little bit isolated. Jack just got a wee bit caught there, and CK coming in on the inside, but they just need to stick in their pods, just making sure that they're getting to that breakdown early. They're not separating there. So, but yeah, no, pleasing. But as I said, this is an area that they struggled. That the Bears struggled in the previous game, so they're showing good improvement, but just need to stick together there.
Jake Kerr with the turnover for Watsonians, both hookers featuring prominently in the opening stages of this game. A try apiece, Arthur Allen after 4 minutes, and then Jake Kerr with the reply 16 minutes into the game. Allen certainly carried the ball on a number of occasions, likewise Kerr winning the turnover there, and then finds his man. Alfie Scopes in the middle of that line out, and it's Kerr in possession. And then the break down the right touchline by Watsonians, chased by Scott King. And penalty to the Bears this time, and Colleen Barreto not hanging around. Offloads to Keddy. Tristan Andrews wasn't expecting that ball. The number 8 as well to tidy that up on his own 10-metre line. Both sides playing at a frantic pace here. The referee is Watsonians offside. Penalty to the Bears, and they'll slow things down a little here.
Yeah, good result there for the Bears. It was a good breakout from Watsonians, putting pressure on the Bears, but unfortunately giving away that penalty. Kaleem taking the quick tap, which was great, but you just want to see them kind of slow things down a little bit and not be a little bit less frantic. And I think Tristan Andrews looking away when the ball was coming towards him, but they ended up getting the result, and they're in a good position here for an attacking ball.
Six plus one line out this time. Barreto man at the front though, suggests the drive, but perhaps they'll break away. They do indeed. Craig Keddy looks to combine with his co-captain Scott Robson, inside centre. The pass can't be taken. The knock on, and Watsonians Rugby survive.
Yeah, I just want to see it just kept a little bit tight there. I know it's not in Boroughmuir's nature, and Scott is usually such a confident player, just to take that ball and run hard and make meters, but a chance there just to try and get some meters in the maul there, keep it a bit tight under these conditions. They might need to adjust a little bit and play to the conditions, but I'm sure Scott will be back with some big carries in this game.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
Early hit by Boroughmuir Bears, a free kick, and Murdo McAndrew this time not hanging around, just stabs that ball down the stand side touchline and finds a touch on the Bears 10-metre line.
Yeah, it looks like it's hit one of the Bears players as well, so that'll be Watsonians line out, so it's a good result for Watsonians.
Ian Muirhead, the Boroughmuir Bears fullback, returning to the starting side. I said earlier, he's had a very good season. Scored a brace in 2 of Bears games.
No, stay where you are, Green.
There's Sir Bulls, if my memory serves me correctly, and I can't quite remember who else, but he's certainly been a real find for the Bears. Jake Kerr to the middle, Carl Main breaks away, and then the ball, well, similar mistake as Murdo McAndrew tried to find his man. It's been lost, and the Boroughmuir Bears now take play up over halfway. Again, playing with a bit of pace, it's Muirhead, takes it into contact, and then Barreto whips the ball away to George Paul. Saw some space in behind, I don't think quite caught his kick as he would have hoped, and it's Scott King who just glances up. The Bears with 4 players at the back. Colleen Barreto, the man who gathers that one. Looks to keep that in, taken by Lee Miller, Watsonians captain. You can see what he was trying to do there, but doesn't quite get his angles right. It's fortunate doesn't go over the dead ball line. Bears decide there George Paul. They didn't fancy the goal line dropout. Sclaffed his kick, but made its way to Dom Coetzer on the Bears 10-metre line. Loose ball with a carry in the midfield for Watsonians, and back they come to the right, stabbed through again. Colleen Barreto, he tried to stop that one going into touch, but I think his feet were in touch when he was in contact with the ball. And it will be a Watsonians throw into the line out, and again it's really fast-paced stuff.
Yeah, I was unlucky from Kaleem. I can see what George Paul was trying to do. Obviously, if he puts that ball down, I was going to say the kick in old times, if that goes over the try line and in the dead ball, then or in between the dead ball, then it's a 22, but obviously it's a goal line kick out now, so that probably gives advantage to Watsonians. So I can see what George Paul was trying to do, really clever, but unfortunately just didn't get his kick away, and Watsonians with a clever kick to force Kaleem out, but they've got the ball back here, so they just need to exit well and just keep their cool a little bit here.
Inside.
Yep, the line out won by the Bears. Arthur Allen charging into contact. And it's Dom Coetzer, very dangerous, returning these kicks, and takes play up to the Bears 10-metre line. Carl Main again, blue headgear. The McAndrew appealing to the referee there. The Bears sneaking up offside. Kieran Watt this time taking it into contact. Lee Miller certainly likes that corner. He judges his kick a little better this time and just rolls into touch about 10 metres or so out from the Bears try line.
Yeah, think we thought they were deciding whether it was a 50-22 there or not, but obviously you can see what the tactics are doing. It's what Watsonians do so well, is that the game management. Obviously Lee Millar there with huge amount of experience just finds that space in the backfield. Obviously we're here in the studio, so it's hard to see what's going on in the backfield there, but obviously Kaleem's there to boss things with Ewan Muirhead, who you've mentioned before, but great to hear they've got a young fullback who's exciting and scores some tries, unlike the previous fullback for Boroughmuir Bears.
I can't think who the previous fullback was, Tom. I think he was pretty decent, if I remember right. He is an exciting young player, though. I'm certainly has scored a couple of tries in 2 of their games this season, but he just looks very, very assured under pressure, and a real prospect.
Yeah, so it's a good back 3 there. Obviously Mason Cullen coming in, and Joe Jenkins is always a solid player, and I really enjoyed playing alongside Joe Jenkins. Obviously you've got Callum Ram and Andrew McLean both on the bench as well, so plenty of options there in the back 3. Obviously probably not a day for the back 3, but great to see the Bears in such a good position.
Stay back 2 until the ball's left, yeah.
Arthur Allen, who scored the first try of the game in the diagonally opposite corner from this one, finds his man in the line out as the Bears look to get their way out of their own 22 here. Again, well organised at the maul, and perhaps look to keep this in the 22 before the kick. Well, the referee playing an advantage now. Colleen Barreto decides to have a go up the left touchline. Joe Jenkins cuts back in field, tackled by Scott King. Another loud blast in the whistle from the referee.
Lads, you've got the option. 6, you've got the option of the penalty here for off feet. Or the one back there against 6 for off.
Yeah, looks like a couple of penalties given away where Watsonians need to be a little bit careful. He seems to be kind of piling up a little bit. They're probably not in that area of the pitch that they're going to see any other consequences, but obviously you've got to be wary of how many penalties you're giving away. So another good opportunity for Bears to spring a good attack.
Yes, as soon as the referee said there was an advantage, Colleen Barreto was alert to the possibilities. He had Joe Jenkins with him. Nothing coming of it, so back for penalty. And the Boroughmuir Bears again with the line out, rather further up the field this time. Again, Allen finding Tristan Andrews at the front. And the Bears, not surprisingly, looking to drive this. It's worked well for them. And Arthur Allen in control at the back.
4 red back, 3 red back, 5
Barreto
red back.
Waiting on that. He's not happy. The Watsonians players having come round there. The referee playing an advantage. The ball goes to ground, so the Bears can roll the dice here. Barreto's a quick look to the left. He really is very alert to what's going on around him. Joe Jenkins again coming off his left wing, fires a lovely pass off the left hand out to Mason Cullen. He's dragged down just outside the 22. Still playing an advantage. George Paul to Westlake. Just evades the clutches of Carl Main. Barreto digging for that one out to George Paul again, who's trying to find space in behind the forwards and use the backs, and it's rolled into the 22. Dom Kutzer, I think, knocked that one on. Arthur Allen pointing that out to the referee, but he says no advantage coming from the penalty.
Yeah, I don't mind that decision from Scott there. Obviously a free ball. They've tried to go wide, and still good to see that Bears are using their backs and having a go in the wide channels even under these conditions. But obviously a free ball there. Scott's put it in behind. If we get if Boroughmuir get on the same page, they might get someone on the end of that next time. But not a bad decision, and obviously Bears looking like they're going into the corner here for possibly another 5 points.
Half an hour on the clock at Meggetland. It's Watsonians just with their noses in front. Lee Millar conversion, the difference between the two sides. Both hookers with a try to their name, Arthur Allen and Jake Kerr. And Arthur Allen might fancy his second here. Line out about 7 metres away from the Watsonians try line.
Big opportunity here for the Bears.
Again, that 6+1 line out. Craig Keddy standing there at the +1, but he's not going to get the opportunity to go in and gather that one. It's been plucked from the air by Watsonians, and a wasted opportunity for the Bears.
Choose 9 red.
McAndrew under pressure again from Jack Fisher. Manages to get that one over the top of the Bears' second row and into touch on the stand side of the pitch.
Yeah, I think that was my bad, a bit of a commentator's curse there, saying it was a good opportunity and they're looking for the 5 points. The Bears have been solid in their lineup so far, so they'll be disappointed with that. But Watsonians getting up well. They've defended the line out there, right on their 5 metres. They've taken the chance and they managed to nick it off them. So fair play to them.
Allen finds Andrews this time, rather further away from the Watsonians try line than they might have liked, but it's Bears possession. Well, there's a chance for them here because Freddie Owsley came out the line and away goes Mason Cullen, and Mason Cullen just about in the corner. It really is good defence, but Freddie Owsley came out looking for the interception and he left too much space out there on his wing, and Boroughmuir Bears almost taking full advantage.
Yeah, brilliant defence there. Great tackle, obviously Freddie coming out to try and get the interception, and it was inches. He nearly got there, but obviously I thought he was in there, but really well defended. Great tackle in the corner there.
It's George Pringle, the Watsonians outside centre, raced across there and made a very important tackle as Ewan Muirhead and Mason Cullen combine nicely down the Bears' right touchline. Change there in the front row with Luca Alessandri coming on in the 24 jersey. That's Jake Kerr with the ball at the back of the Watsonians maul. Hands the ball back to Murdo McAndrew.
Backwards play.
He sends that one into the Bears half. Joe Jenkins again just weighing up the options. It's been taken by, I think that was Dom Coetzer. It was indeed called for the mark, but he'd actually skidded, I think, outside the 22, so the referee deciding that he couldn't call for that.
Arrive up!
And it's still Watsonians in possession. And again, McAndrew setting up the kick. Everybody seemed to lose that one in the air, but Colleen Barreto tidies up. It was indeed, yes, over his shoulder and gives it to his winger Mason Cullen. He's looked very dangerous. And then the Bears looking to attack through their back line again. Joe Jenkins. Barreto looking for somebody to run off him. And then Barreto again looking for space in behind. And goes over the top of Scott King. It rolls just a little too far for the scrum half. Again, King doesn't fancy the 22 dropout. Rather the goal line dropout, apologies, so looks to keep the ball in hand. Dom Coetzer takes the ball into contact. McAndrew to Quagga van Niekerk, number 8 today for Watsonians Rugby can play anywhere across the back 5 of the scrum really. And Watsonians just going through 2 or 3 phases here to, you would assume, set up a position for the kick, and it looks now that Murdo McAndrew will again take on kicking duties himself under pressure from Max Sloboda, Polish international. Well, that was almost won by Freddie Owsley. It will be a throw into the line out for Boroughmuir Bears, but I think that landed in the field of play and Owsley on hand, and if he'd managed to get hands on that, it could have gone horribly wrong for the Bears. Yeah,
obviously Scott King there going for the same option as George Paul. Didn't want to go for the goal line drop route and decided to run it out. But Watsonians obviously with the exit. I was watching Kaleem in the previous line out, and just with those exits plays, I think there's a bit of a wind coming down into that corner as well. He was asking for his backfield players to come a bit closer, so maybe there's a little bit of a wind factor down there as well.
As Colleen Barreto pops the ball off to captain Craig Keddy. Barreto again to Paul, again sees a space, goes through past the first 2 tackles. Colleen Barreto, basketball pass over the top and finds Alex Tom, and that's a wonderful try for Boroughmuir Bears. Colleen Barreto at the heart of everything good about Boroughmuir Bears in this first half. Alex Tom, the try scorer.
Yeah, brilliant finish there. I think the Bears are playing some really good rugby in these conditions. They're changing it up a bit. Kaleem and George Paul kind of bossing the management of the field, but they're changing it up. Nice little break there, offload, and then Colleen Barreto with the over-the-top basketball pass, and Alex Tom in the corner. So great hands and great skills.
I'm the mark 10, okay.
Yes, the halfbacks combining nicely with George Paul. Saw the space in front of him, and Colleen Barreto just on that support line on the inside to take the pass, and then managed to pop it over the top to Alex Tom, the outside centre. And the Bears, you have to say, deservedly, get their noses back in front with their second try. And George Paul, who missed the earlier conversion attempt, Arthur Allen's early try. A similar position. What can he do with this one? Well, the flags do go up. It's a wonderful conversion from out wide by George Paul. He just nudges the home side another 2 points ahead. It's Boroughmuir Bears 12, Watsonians Rugby 7.
Yeah, I mentioned it before, but I think Colleen Barreto back in the squad is making a huge difference. Colleen wasn't playing in the previous game, but he's the heart of everything at the moment. Just kind of looking at the team sheets as well, just kind of realised that there's I don't think Boroughmuir, the Bears, have a backup 9 on the bench, so usually Rory Swan's there, so I wonder if he's got an injury, but actually in saying that, Josh Beveridge is on the bench, so they do have a backup 9, so excuse me.
Okay, onside red.
Here's another
Use 9.
solid option off the bench, Josh Beveridge, but Colleen Barreto for now. And a very strong first half here for the home side.
Hold in front 6.
Ball taken by Dom Coutser at the back and finds Barreto. Seems to know exactly where the ball is going to be. Sends that one over the top to Lee Miller. Has to keep that one close to the touchline. That's a good kick by Lee Miller. And that couldn't be kept in. Lee Miller, he knew exactly what he was trying to do, but it's hard to execute. And the Bears, was that Joe Jenkins trying to keep that one in, but his feet were in touch, and it will be a Watsonians throw to the line out.
Feet in touch, and I think this rule has changed a few times since I started playing rugby. But I know you used to be able to catch the ball with 1 foot out, and you could take it all the way back. And obviously rules have changed recently, but obviously quite clearly there, Joe had both feet out when he touched the ball. So a great tactic from Lee Miller and a really good execution for the 50-22.
Taking the line out, and the ball fed back again to Jake Kerr, who's already got a try to his name, and this looks well set now as the Watsonians pack work their way towards the Bears try line. And McAndrew trying to get his hands on that ball, but it's not forthcoming from Jake Kerr, who fancies a second try of the day. That one goes down now, and it doesn't come back in the Watsonian side. It's a good defence by Boroughmuir Bears. They were going back at a rate of knots for a while, but they've defended that well.
No, really well. We've obviously mentioned it earlier on in the match, and really strong and powerful Watsonians pack there. So to get that turnover, I know Alex Toulis does a lot of work with the Boroughmuir forwards and packs. So showing some good signs in attack, the attacking maul, but they'll get a lot of confidence and a boost from that defensive set.
Approaching half-time then here at Meggetland.
Crouch!
The Bears will just look to
Bind!
survive here. Back into the changing rooms. Ahead in this one. That goes down, but the referee will reset. See Colleen Barreto as that ball came out, just spun round and mimicked the kick into touch. So I don't think we need to guess too hard. I think the referee's probably indicated that this will be the last play, and they'll just look to get this off the park. Yeah,
Bears will be desperate here just to stay nice and clean and get this ball out and get into the sheds with 12-7 lead going into half time.
Crouch! Bind! Sit! Stay there, 9. Use both 9. Use 9.
Liam Barreto just fires that back to his half-back partner George Paul and stabs the ball off into touch, and the referee Keane Davison blows for half-time. It's been an entertaining first half in this Edinburgh derby. 3 tries, 2 for Boroughmuir Bears Arthur Allen and Alex Tom, 1 in reply from Jake Kerr. You can see again just in that wider shot there how difficult the conditions are here. The players have largely coped very well with it. Your Bears, as you can see confirmation on your screen there, go in at half-time leading by 12 points to 7, and we mentioned they had 3 weeks off, which came off the back of 3 losses, and yet they seem to have got straight back into their game. They'll be very happy with that first half, and Watsonians, who had a rather up and down season, they won their first 3, they lost a couple, and they've won their last 3, but perhaps less than convincingly, and we've got a really evenly matched 2 sides here.
Yeah, you mentioned the weather obviously is going to play a big part in this game, but I think overall it's been a really exciting half. Boroughmuir maybe getting a chance to recharge the batteries, and Watsonians, maybe there's an opportunity with a couple of results recently that Boroughmuir felt that they could have an impact and make a result here. But a really good game so far, and looking forward to the second half.
Well, let's have a look at the first half action. Well, the first try of the game came after only 4 minutes. In fact, apologies, that's the second try. That's the Jake Kerr try for Watsonians. As he goes over, that was in reply to Arthur Allen's early try for Boroughmuir Bears. So both hookers getting their names on the score sheet within the first 16 minutes of the game. And Lee Miller with a successful conversion attempt from out wide just got Watsonians' noses in front.
Yeah, it was a bit of deja vu from the previous game when Jake Kerr went over, but they went over a few times with that driving maul, but Boroughmuir have reacted really well and obviously kept them out in that next one. But this was a great try from obviously really lovely skills from Kaleem and a good finish from Alex Tom in the corner. So I'm really impressed with how Boroughmuir have been playing. They've done really well. They've muscled up, and important thing is that they keep their calm going into the second half, and they don't get frantic, but they're in a really good position.
Yes, that was certainly the pick of the bunch. George Paul with the break, finding his scrum half Kaleem Barreto on the inside, and then the basketball pass to Alex Tom, and then the successful conversion by George Paul takes the half-time score. The Boroughmuir Bears 12, Watsonians Rugby 7.
Anybody kind of following the World Cup and obviously watching this instead of not watching the game on the telly, the half-time score is England 8, Samoa 14. And please welcome back on the pitch for the second half, the Boroughmuir Bears.
Welcome back. Second half action at Meggetland. The Boroughmuir Bears back out on the pitch, no doubt feeling good about themselves after that first half. 12 points to 7 they lead. And out come the visitors, Watsonians Rugby, sitting third in the table. So still very much in the hunt for a home playoff semi-final, but they really could not afford to lose here today. And Boroughmuir Bears likewise with a really good opportunity to get themselves into at least fourth place and feature in those playoffs. Again, you would think probably have to win here today, so certainly plenty to play for in the next 40 minutes here. Our final game of the weekend in round 10 of the FOSROC Super Series Championship. And referee Keane Davison, in a very good first half, signals the start of the second period, and Craig Keddy, the receiver there just inside the Boroughmuir Bears 22. penalty to Boroughmuir Bears, gives them an easy out from their own 22, and I think indicating that the ball kicked through. Yeah, you can see just the left foot there of Carl Main as he tried to contest the breakdown, just couldn't resist kicking the ball, which of course you're not allowed to do now, and it will be George Paul who send this ball up the stand side touchline.
Yeah, it was an easy out there from Watsonians. I'm sure Sheely would have had a word in the sheds and fired up the boys, but a really good opportunity here for the Bears. My advice to them would just to stay calm and composed and let Kaleem and Paul George do their thing, and just carry on working hard and get the defensive sets right, and they're in with a shout here.
Arthur Allen to Jack Fisher for the umpteenth time this season. Hooker and the big number 5 have combined well. Ball sent over the top by Barreto, chased by Mason Cullen, but it's snapped up by Carol Main. Just on the Watsonian side of halfway, Murdo McAndrew out to Lewis Ball, and sweeps that ball out to his captain Lee Miller, who tries to angle that across to his left, but doesn't get that one right at all, and out on the full.
Yeah, I saw Joe Jenkins doing that in the first half. It's a tricky little corner that you kind of you've got the shelter from the stands, but once it gets in the air, it can move about. So a good opportunity here for the Bears. I really like their exit strategy off the previous line out. So really nice and composed. Good chasing from Joe Jenkins and putting a lot of pressure on Watsonians.
Allen again to Fisher, can't quite take that cleanly, so it's tapped back, and Arthur Allen is very well to tidy that one up, and Kaleem Barreto again thinks he sees space down that short side. Tristan Andrews, that's a scrum half to allow Barreto to get back to his feet. Just to thread the ball back through the legs there of the Caterpillar. Kieran Westlake at the back wearing the number 7 jersey tonight, featured more as a number 8. Barreto sends that one down towards the Watsonians 22, Freddie Owsley. Takes that one nicely. Here comes Carl Main to stoop down to take that one. And the referee playing an advantage here, I think a knock on. Scrum advantage. Again, Murdo McAndrew looks to send that one into Bears territory. Not judged well by Kaleem Barreto. It really is the first mistake he's made all night, and it's been snapped up by Jake Kerr inside there to Kieran Watt, and over they go for the try from the mistake by Kaleem Barreto, and it's Quagga van Niekerk, the number 8, who comes up with the ball, and out of nothing Watsonians level the scores. It's 12 apiece.
Yeah, it was a shame. Obviously, Kaleem kind of went to gather the ball there. First mistake he's made all night. Unfortunately, it's been quite an important one, but quite a few things happened there. I felt that Watsonians were lucky. I thought there was a wee spill in the ground from Freddie when he gathered it. Obviously, there was they had the penalty advantage, and they still managed to kick it away. And Kaleem, unfortunately, not able to gather that one. I'm sure he'll recover quickly, but Watsonians making the most of that opportunity. And we've spoken about there'll be few opportunities in the second half, so you've got to make them count. So well done and well played by Watsonians.
Lee Miller is taking his time over this one. Curls that round nicely through between the uprights and gets Watsonians noses back in front. 12 points to 14. But really coming from nothing. The mistake, the first of the night really, by Kaleem Barreto, was pounced upon by Watsonians. Through went Kieran Watt, and Quagga van Niekerk working hard, the number 8, supporting the inside, and goes over for Watsonians' second try. That can't be taken there by, that was Alfie Scopes perhaps knocking that ball on, so it's Boroughmuir looking to reply quickly. Play just on the Watsonian side of halfway. Barreto sweeps it away to George Paul, just drops the ball off to Jack Fisher. It's the power of work every week in that 5 jersey. Retro again to George Paul. Threads that ball through and bounces into touch as the Bears look to play the rugby down at the Watsonians' end of the field.
Yeah, it was a good option from George Paul. I was just looking at the body language of a few of the Bears players when the Watsonians went over for that fortuitous try, and just kind of hoping that they don't get their heads down, and they keep the belief that they can stay in this game and get a result. But that's just the kind of thing that the forwards want to see as they're getting up from a ruck and seeing that ball going into the corner, and a lot of pressure on the Watsonians now.
Jake Kerr, the first try scorer for Watsonians, international hooker. That's sent high by Murdo McAndrew and not be taken by anyone. Freddie Owsley on hand looking for it, and it just bounces into touch.
Yeah, interesting battle up man on man, Freddie and Mason here. I was watching the kick chase when Boroughmuir put it up, and it was quite an easy catch from Freddie, and just in that one, Freddie really getting in the way and competing in the air. But it's a really good matchup, and two exciting players on the right and left wing there.
Yeah, Mason Cullen with one notable run in that first half, and it was a brilliant tackle by George Pringle who kept him out. The ball's been lost. It's going to come back on the Watsonian side of the breakdown. Gregor Skugel digging for that one. The referee awards a penalty to Watsonians, just explaining to captain Craig Keddy.
7 penalty, he was on the ground. 7 was on the ground, he fell offside. Okay. Red.
Cian Westlake, the man who's penalised.
CK obviously asking the question there. It's good to see CK still lacing up and turning out for the Bears. He's a well-respected player around the club, and he's been there many years. So a real leader, a real respected player for the Bears.
He was down at Gala when I was involved down at Netherdale. And now, for a number of seasons now, been captain here at Meggetland. Co-captain now with Scott Robson in the inside centre. It's Watsonians now with the attacking opportunity down at the Bears' end of the field. Jake Kerr, first try scorer for Watsonians. They're so well organised around this line-out drive. Referee playing an advantage. It's still in the hands of Jake Kerr as play now goes into the Bears 22. And Watsonians players just recycle themselves to the back of the maul, but it's played away by Murdo McAndrew. Goes astray in the midfield, but Freddie Owsley looks to tidy it up. Hammered in the tackle by Arthur Allen. Referee Keane Davison just come back for the Watsonians penalty.
Yeah, just seeing the strength there of that Watsonians 8 once they get going. Boroughmuir did really well in the first half. They had a chance deep down in their half to defend, and they did well to kind of nullify the driving maul. But you can see there just the strength and the power of Watsonians, and again another test here for the Bears.
Yes, the Watsonians pack will fancy that they can drive the 12 metres or so to the Bears try line if they get the first part of this equation right, and they do indeed take in at the front, and the ball will be fed back into the hands of Jake Kerr, first try scorer for Watsonians. The referee says same maul. The Bears now having to hurry back and somehow try and defend this driving maul. It goes to deck. The referee says legally so. Good defence again by the Bears. It's the second time this evening, once at the other end of the field. They've managed to stop Watsonians playing away from the maul. That's a turnover ball, a very important position.
Great turnover from the Bears. I'd say it was questionable however you got there, but that's a great result from them. CK doing the hard work, getting his head in dark places again. But that's the second time Boroughmuir have stopped that attack, so they'll take great confidence from that, because Watsonians usually so clinical in those areas.
Kieran Watt was as puzzled as you with the 4 jersey on his back, the red headgear, as he turned to the referee's assistant and looked more than a little quizzical at that decision. Again, it was good defence. The Bears did the very same towards the end of the first half at the other end of the pitch, when it looked like Watsonians might well bulldoze them over their own try line.
Just to mention Callum McPhee-Smith, he's just come on the front row. It's great to see him back, just off towards the end of my time with the Bears. He suffered quite a tough knee injury, so it's he's worked back on the field. So Hong Kong internationalist, so he's worked hard and he deserves to be back on that pitch. So great to see him get an initial impact straight away. So great.
18 red.
Bobby Bratton, perhaps the man that was penalised on in the front row. I think the referee said 18 red. I see also Robbie Deans with the 17 jersey on for Watsonians. So Nicky Walker making changes in that Watsonians pack.
Luca down at the moment. I know I saw Luca come on about 30 minutes for Martin McGinley, so I didn't know whether that was tactical or not, but obviously he's down at the moment. Again, another youngster who's come up through Boroughmuir and started playing with the Bears a few seasons ago or last season, and he's made a real impact, so let's hope it's not too bad here.
Am I right in thinking that he originally came through the ranks? Was it at Cartha? I think he perhaps was a second row, but has moved forward into the front row. He's a solid character, yes.
He's going to be replaced by...
Sadly though, he's having to leave the field of play, and as Tom said, already lost a prop in the shape of Martin McGinley, so interesting to see what Bears do here. Well, I see Martin McGinley back on in front of the 3 jersey, so he thought his day was perhaps done. He's taking his place at the back of the line out here.
He's taken a wee breather and come back on, so maybe it was tactical.
Arthur Allen, well, I think his first mistake of the night at the line out. He's been very secure. He's hit both Jack Fisher and Tristan Andrews on a number of occasions. Didn't quite get that right, the hooker. It just went... We never got enough on it for a start, just went down the left-hand side of the line out, and that just hands possession to Watsonians in a great position for the visiting side.
Yeah, it's tough. He's been spot on this evening so far, so obviously tough one. It's a mistake there, but it's in a dangerous position for the Bears, so let's see if Watsonians can capitalise on it.
Well, here goes this Watsonians juggernaut again with Jake Kerr in possession. Still they work their way towards the Bears try line. That's gone down. The referee, you can hear, saying that's a tackle. Out into the midfield for try scorer Kwagavanyika. So Watsonians looking to press home their advantage. That's been stolen by Craig Keddy. Great work by the blindside flanker. Watsonians penalised. That will really annoy Nicky Walker when they have the Bears down there in their 22, but all they've lost possession. And the referee this time penalised them. You can see just going in at the side there was Kieran Watt.
CK again doing the I say the hard yards. He puts his head in the dark places, and he does a lot of the unseen work. But a really good turnover there. And again, it's great to see that the Bears are fronting up when it comes to these positions, because as I said, Watsonians usually very clinical in those positions.
Craig Keddy, who is, I think, fair to say over the last couple of seasons, a few seasons featured more at 8 and then 7 for Boroughmuir Bears, so he's going down the numbers. I suspect he may well call it quits before he gets much lower. he won't want to get any further forward, I don't suppose. He must be both 36, 37 and now still playing like a youngster. Really very important player for Boroughmuir Bears in that pack, as is Jack Fisher. Takes that one, and he's challenged illegally in the air by Watsonians, so 2 quick-fire penalties by the visitors, and that just allows the Bears to again get themselves down into Watsonians territory. Infuriating for the Watsonians coaching team.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy there from Watsonians. Saw it in the first half. A couple of penalties given away by Watsonians in this area of the field, and Boroughmuir able to get their way down the pitch and be able to stay in this game and show how dangerous they are in their attacking half. So yeah, a little bit sloppy from Watsonians, but we'll see how Watsonians or how Boroughmuir can do here.
Step up, Chris.
Well, lots of movement in the line out. It eventually finds its way into the hands of Tristan Andrews and fed back to Arthur Allen. Colleen Barreto breaks away. Again, you could just see he was weighing up all the options he had. Just, his brain quickly computing what to do. Decided there was perhaps a space, but he was met by the Watsonians defence.
Release, Red! Tackle, release!
Bears forwards and setting up a position, and Colleen Barreto looking again to kick, this time from on the Watsonian side of half-weight. Doesn't get as much on that as he might have liked. Mason Cullen looked to win that ball back, but it's been snapped up by Kieran Watt.
No advantage, came forward off green, scrum down red.
Yeah, not a bad option. We spoke about in the first half. Would have liked to see that ball just a little bit further, maybe just outside the 22 to put a little bit more pressure on Watsonians there. But in these conditions, not a bad option, and maybe an area of the park that Boroughmuir tend to overplay sometimes. But some good game management there, I'd say, and Mason Cullen getting up underneath the ball this time, and unfortunately coming up, unfortunately knocking it on. But I'd say those balls are a 50-50 chance. So not a bad tactic from Bears, I'd say.
Breaking play. It's about 55 minutes on the clock here. Very close contest. Watsonians just with their noses in front. Just realised that both sides are well represented in the commentary box here. Former Boroughmuir Bear alongside me. I'm sitting kitted out head to toe in Watsonians gear, having coached the Watsonians women's side this afternoon. Well, I better just take the chance to say a very good win this afternoon in really terrible conditions. Not sure if you can tell at home. Well, I think everybody at home all over Scotland knows exactly how bad the weather is today, but it really is not easy conditions to be playing in here. We've had a surprisingly entertaining game, considering how it may well have ended up. You just get a sense this one will go right down to the wire. But for now, it's the visitors who have their noses in front. A penalty awarded the way of Watsonians.
Like CK was doing there, he started celebrating, but I think he knew deep down inside that he had lost the penalty there. To be honest, I have no idea what goes on in that front row. But I thought Tin had his feet still, but as I said, it's not my area of expertise, so I probably shouldn't be commenting on it.
Probably can't help out much either, so we'll just assume that the referee was correct. Either way, the upshot is that the Bears now find themselves defending on their own 10-metre line. It's still Jake Kerr. He's going to say in the number 2 jersey. There is no number 2 jersey. Well, it doesn't fit him perhaps, but no number on his back. That's his instructions there from Robbie Deans. On now that loose head prop in the second half for Watsonians. And we've already seen how good Watsonians are here. The ball this time in the hands of Quagga van Niekerk, just for a change. He's already got a try as well. 3 minutes into the second half. Yes, the breakaway, the referee playing at advantage. Kieran Westlake tries to wrestle him to the ground. Side entry here from Kieran Westlake, I think for the second time he's been penalised for that particular infringement.
Yeah, you can just see the strength of Watsonians there when they get their power maul going. You know, Bears went up to compete there, but you know, maybe they should take a bit of their medicine and just know what's coming. You know, that ball's not going to shift very far when they get the line out. And Watsonians, interesting, not going for the points here. They're going for, you know that they're strong in this area, so if we're going for the corner, and I'm sure we can all predict where this is going.
Well, they might surprise us, but I suspect not. And back it goes again to Jake Kerr. Quagga van Nieuwkerk just piles in to offer his assistance and now gets his hands on the ball. The referee again, you can hear saying same maul as they work their way towards the try line. It's still in the hands of van Nieuwkerk as he looks to get his second try. Very close now, just a metre or so away from the Bears try line, defending for their lives. Out it goes to Kieran Watt.
Advantage 7 offside.
Referee playing an advantage here, so will Watsonians look to roll the dice. I think the forwards just keep it tight, and I think we're not quite over the try line, just short. Craig Keddy dragged out the way by Alfie Scopes. And again the plunge for the try line, this time they do go over. Great work once more by powerful Watsonians pack.
Jake Kerr again.
And it is Jake Kerr who goes over for his second try of the evening. And the Watsonians pack just press home that advantage and extend their lead out to 7 points.
Yeah, Watsonians are so good in this area. I'd say the 22 is their biggest part of their strength, and once they get into that 22, you just know what's going to happen. And you know, they're predictable, but they're so clinical. They come away usually with the points. Boroughmuir have done well so far to defend that area in other parts of this game, but you know, inevitably they were going to crack there. So you know, important now for the Bears, just they're still in this game, to keep their heads up and keep the belief.
Lee Millar successful with 2 conversions so far. And he add a third. Take Watsonians beyond that 7 points difference. Again, he just curls that one round beautifully. Always looks like it's going to head away to the right of the post, but he knows exactly what he's doing. He does indeed add the 2 extras, and Watsonians now lead by 21 points to 12.
Yeah, lovely kick. As I said, just important for Boroughmuir to keep their heads up. They're still in this game, still got an opportunity here, so keep the belief, keep the confidence that they've done well. They've not had many opportunities in this second half, and going into this final quarter of the game, you know, got to make the most of their opportunities. So yeah, just staying squeaky clean and keeping the belief.
Lee Millar, another former Gala player. Not many better kickers of a rugby ball in Scottish rugby. And that ball knocked on by the Bears as they tried to regather their own kick-off. I realise the clock is just winding down on them. 18 minutes left in this one. They really do have to be the next side to score if they want to come away with a win here.
Yeah, just seen Scott McGinley come on again, another leader in that pack, and he's just come on and just telling everyone to
shifted across one place into the second row. McGinley there with the 19. Apologies, that's actually Callum Hunter with the. I think that is Scott McGinley, in fact, is it, with the 19 jersey on, just a mix up with the jersey numbers.
Stay there, 9, don't go past the flanker.
Well, fed away from Van Nieuwkerk to Lewis Berg, who's been quiet this evening. As always, when he carries, makes good ground there. Suggestion that Colleen Barreto might have been a little bit offside there, but play goes on. Gathered at the back by Muirhead. Finds grass there and almost bounced back up into the hands of the Bears fullback. Well, has been snapped up by Boroughmuir. Jack Fisher sets the ball back for his scrum half, and then Martin McGinley back on again for Luca Alessandri. It's Andrew McLean, former Glasgow Hawks player, who's come on at standoff. And then Callum Ram stabs that ball down the middle of the field.
Hold in front, Red. Hold.
Muirhead again. Again, find some grass at the back. Lee Miller.
Hold red. Everyone hold. 2, thank you.
The return rolls that up towards the Bears 22, and Callum Ram is a glance up, looks for some space. Muirhead, you would think, had to be rather offside there.
Wasn't quite sure. I thought the ball went out, so obviously if the ball crosses the line there, then he can. He's straight on side, but it looked like the ball stayed in, and he couldn't help himself. You know, it's always tempting, but you just got to stay still until that kicker gets in front of you. So he's probably not used to that. Actually, he's probably usually the one that's chasing the ball and putting his forwards on side. So he's probably found himself in a position he's not used to. But obviously, you know, an easy let off for Watsonians there. But yeah, just seeing Callum Ram on, but they've just missed touch there. But Callum Ram making an immediate impact. He's got a great boot on him as well, so yeah, he'll look to make an impact in this final quarter of the match.
Yeah, I had to have another look at that. I couldn't quite work out how on earth Ewan Muirhead was even there. But he surely can't have chased quite as quickly as that, and he hadn't. So Watsonians now.
I don't know if he went down with some cramp or something and then just realised the ball was next to him, but yeah, he was in a funny position.
Assistant referee David Changlang there.
Watsonians making a couple of replacements. Number 9, William Campbell, 10, Lee Miller are coming off and being replaced by number 21, Murray Scott, and 22, Jason Baggett.
Perhaps here over the Tannoy system there, Jason Baggett now on the field of play for Watsonians. It's a huge experience. But here go that Watsonians pack again, and it's Van Nieuwkerk this time in control at the back, and away they play through the back line. That's Jason Baggett, who's tipped upside down by Scott Robson. And then Murray Scott on at scrum half for Watsonians. To Carl Main, driven into contact. Through comes Colleen Barreto, has to dislodge that ball out the hands of his new opposite number. So Colleen Barreto getting the better of that particular tussle. It was knocked on by the Bears, and it will be a Watsonian scrum.
Yeah, Colleen obviously still full of energy. He's not going to give up at all, but no, it's a couple of big changes for Watsonians. Obviously Murray Scott and Jason Baggett with all of his experience coming on, so it looks like he's come on for Lee Miller. So you know, really Watsonians have good strength of depth there. You know, two very classy and experienced players, and when it comes to these areas in a tight game and under these conditions, it's key to have experienced halfbacks like Jason. So I'm sure he will look to close out this game in a smart way.
Justin Andrews, discomfort of cramp in both legs, it would appear. Craig Kerry, I thought, was coming across to check on the welfare of his back row partner, but he was just coming across for a drink and wandered off again. As you do, yes.
Tristan's been great. He's been immense this game. He's been involved in a lot. He's a player who tends to get around the park, and you see him in the backfield quite often. He enjoys getting on ball and carrying, and he also does a lot of work in defence as well. So I'm not surprised that he's getting a double cramp there. But you know, he's been really good tonight. He's carried really well and been a solid player for the Bears tonight.
A good line-out option as well. If Boroughmuir Bears were to prevail in this one, it might be in our equation as a possible player of the match, but for now it's Watsonians who look the more likely victors in this one, leading by 21 points to 12, but time yet for the home side.
Yeah, as we mentioned, having Jason Baggett coming on there off the bench in a tight game like this, just being able to manage the game, I'm sure he should be able to help Watsonians to the end. But it's definitely not over yet. You know, Boroughmuir still have a great opportunity. If they get the next score in this game, then you never know what's going to happen.
Tristan Andrews sadly unable to continue. And on comes, well, I think that will be Callum Hunter, an emergency loan player from Falkirk. I think Hunter and McGinley probably swap jerseys. McGinley already on in the 19 jersey.
Number 19, Callum Hunter.
Probably hear the announcer over the Tannoy system just confirming that it is indeed Callum Hunter on in the back row for Boroughmuir Bears, replacing Tristan Andrews. Good scrum by Watsonians, and just looking to keep that one at the feet of Van Niekerk, and they get what they're after, a penalty, so Murray Scott now can play away. Free ball here for Watsonians. Out it goes. Dom Cookser tried to thread that ball through as he dropped it onto his left foot, just tackled, unable to execute, back for the penalty.
Obviously looking at a free ball there and looking to put it in behind, but a really strong scrum there, and Boroughmuir have done really well to stick in this game with the young forwards that they've got, but just a bit of experience and a bit of energy and power coming in there from the Watsonians pack. So obviously Jason Baggett indicating to go for the post here, which I think is a sensible decision at this stage.
It's the two packs. I mean, it's been a good contest, but just in the last 10 minutes or so, just a sense that the Watsonians 8 just getting the upper hand, a bit more physical, both at the line-out drive and at scrum time.
Yeah, we mentioned it at the beginning of the game. It was always a game like this. It was always going to come down to a big physical battle in the forwards. But I'd say Boroughmuir have done really, really well, considering they've got, as I say, a few young guys and a few experienced heads there, and CK and Scott McGinley coming on. But they've done really, really well so far, and I think they can take a lot of confidence from this game. But Watsonians ultimately showing their strength.
So Lee Miller with 3 successful conversions so far. He's made way for Jason Baggett, who sends over his first successful kick after his introduction.
Jason Baggett's
That's 3 points to the Watsonians tally. They now lead by 12 points. I think it's now or never for Boroughmuir Bears if they're looking to get themselves back into this one. As far as Watsonians go, they'll be looking now for a bonus point try.
Yeah, absolutely. You can say never in doubt here from Jason. He's a classy player. I've been with him for many years in Edinburgh. Probably didn't get as many opportunities at Edinburgh that you'd hope, but he was a player that worked hard for many, many years, and you know, he works hard on his skills and his kicking out goals. So. You know, he's a great player to come on, but yeah, I'm sure. But this next passionate play is obviously very important. Boroughmuir need to get on the scoreboard.
Andrew McLean involved in the action there. The ball's been knocked on by Boroughmuir Bears, and again hands Watsonians possession inside the Bears half. Bears scrum 10 metres in from the far touchline, on the 10-metre line, and a few of the Bears players in the wars now. It's been an attritional battle. It's Kieran Westlake down now, started out on the open side flank, has moved into the second row now. 10 minutes left in this one. 12 points the difference, certainly advantage with Watsonians.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Bears just keep a bit of composure here. They're chasing the game, 12 points behind, 10 minutes to go, but you know, they've still got plenty of opportunity in this game. There's plenty of life in it, so you know, I'd say they don't need to go too far away from their tactic that they had at the beginning. You know, still play the field, play the percentage game, and you never know what will come from that. One more score and they're straight back in this match.
Wise words. First a bit to get hands on the ball. It's a good scrum. Well, initially by the Bears, look to put the pressure on, but Watsonians recover. The referee tells Murray Scott to use that ball. And there's a loose pass out to Jason Baggett. 2 new men at half back for Watsonians. lost by loose ball, but can't be tidied up by Scott Robson.
Yeah, things like a slippy ball. You see the moisture on that ball there. But again, good pressure from Bears. Obviously, Scott McGinley there getting right up in the face of the Watsonians player. So again, another opportunity. Big scrum here. We've got Zach Griffiths in the front row. He's just come on, but obviously another youngster who's come through the Boroughmuir Academy and age grade. So an exciting player coming on there. So a big test for the Boroughmuir front row here.
As the Bears missing Corey Tate this week, he's involved with the Glasgow squad, so Arthur Allen starting. Zach Griffiths now coming on at hooker for the Bears. And that looks to me like Josh Beveridge on now scrum half, and penalty awarded to the Bears. A chance for them to get out of their half and set up camp in the Watsonians half. 8 minutes left in this one.
Yeah, big penalty there for Boroughmuir. Big kick here from Calum. Just make sure you want to make sure he makes touch here, but also you want to get right down into the territory of Watsonians. But you just mentioned Tate, Duncan Munn, Liam McConnell also used to be in these Bears team that are playing for the. Good to see them playing for the pro teams and getting their opportunities now. So obviously Boroughmuir, doing really well, getting these kinds of players to come through the Super Six and into the pro game. So and fully deserved from those players.
Watsonians have just made a change.
Yes, the FOSROC Super Series doing its job of producing players for the next level. Great to see them moving on. And that's a big carry by Scott Robson, the Bears co-captain. Josh Beveridge on now at scrum half. He'll look to keep the pace of the game high. Colleen Barreto with a very impressive 70 minutes or so this evening. Another penalty goes the way of Boroughmuir. Just the momentum going their way for now, and they need it to.
Yeah, good carry there from Zach. Obviously he got his target there in the line out as well. So look to go into the corner, and another big test for Zach here, getting the ball spot on and into his jumpers. But a good opportunity here for the Bears, and exciting end to this game.
Yes, if the Bears could score here, that will set us up for a real grandstand finish. New men in key positions here, not least Zach Griffiths, standing there with ball in hand, just to the right of your shot. He finds his man at the front. Surprisingly, Jack Fisher, and the ball fed back to Griffiths now. And Griffiths, well, he's gone over the try line, and what an introduction for the new man. Throws to the line out, and then dives over for the try. Third for Boroughmuir Bears. It's got the home side right back into this game.
Yeah, great drills there from Zach. Obviously a young man coming on the field, a lot of pressure there to get the ball spot on, and he's obviously, and Boroughmuir have done well to set up that driving maul, and I was looking, going, go on Zach, and he broke off and just at the right time and just dotted that ball on the line. So and from what I know, that was potentially the first try for Zach in his senior career. So well done to Zach.
An important conversion here, 7 points the difference between the sides, so of course another converted try for the Bears would level matters. I think they want more from this game. So Andrew McLean just lining up the conversion. And that one comes back off the right upright. So unable to add the extras. See at the top left of your screen there, both sides with 3 tries. So both sides chasing try bonus points. Both sides now, well, are they chasing the win? Could we have a draw in this one? I think we've got more to come in this game in the closing 6 minutes.
Definitely, we spoke about it before. Boroughmuir just need to keep their composure here. They're obviously going to retrieve this ball deep into their 22, but nothing changes. I don't want to see them kind of trying to play out and making silly mistakes. But as long as they get their exit drills here. But
Carl Main's come up with that ball and thrown it infield. I think Jason Baggett originally with the chase. It just wasn't dealt with well by the Bears from the restart. It's been knocked on by Watsonians, but again, that could have gone horribly wrong for the Bears, having just got themselves right back into this game. The last thing they wanted there was to make an error.
Yeah, you can see the rain starting to come down as well, so Boroughmuir will have to do very well to get their way up the field for that try that they're seeking. But you know, they're doing well so far. Big scrum here again for that front row. So we'll see what happens here.
Sit.
And you can see there is the early drive from Watsonians. A free kick awarded to Boroughmuir. Callum Ram steps forward. A good boot on him. There's not a penalty, so opts to keep that in the field of play. Kick across field, finds some space. Snapped up by Ewan Muirhead at the back. Picked up by Jason Baggett. That's exactly who Watsonians would want on there in the closing stages of this one, but Boroughmuir still dangerous in these positions, and that's Andrew McLean. Can be taken clean, like goes loose, and couldn't quite get hands on it there. George Pringle, Watsonians outside centre. It's still with the Bears, but under pressure. Josh Beveridge just setting up the kick here. And that one goes out in the full, so mistake from the replacement scrum half.
That's a shame, Josh. Again, another player who's worked really hard. He had a nasty knee injury in my time when I was at the Bears, and you know, he was in the gym and he was around the squad every single day, every single training session. So he's done really well to get himself back on the pitch. As I said, that's a tough touch line after playing at Meggetland for many years. So just not getting his angles right there, but potentially overthrown.
Fingerage on for Jake Kerr at hooker for Watsonians. It's the visitors who do have possession. They can put this game to bed now. Play just outside the 22, picked up by Alfie Scopes. Waiting there is Jason Baggett, but plays still with the forwards. Powerful drive again, and Murray Scott. The referee, you can hear saying there, advantage over, and with that, it's been snapped up by Boroughmuir Bears, Jack Fisher. Unfortunately, our clock at the top of the screen has stopped, and so we'll not have an awful lot of time left in this one. I think Boroughmuir Bears realise the urgency of the situation. 7 points the difference, but a break in play. I think the referee saying a boot up there into the face of Kieran Westlake.
Obviously, to see the time just disappear there, but I was kind of looking at going, it's been 74 minutes for a very long time, but obviously it looks like so it must be close to towards the end of the match there. But again, exciting, but Boroughmuir are going to have to work really hard to get their way up to the other end of the pitch to get that needed score.
Surely the referee plays from our time rather than vice versa.
It is going square.
You would hope so. This game seems to be one that's still got a conclusion to produce at the end of this match. So you know, it's exciting. So we'll see how it all unfolds.
Yes, it's one of those games you really don't want to end. We did wonder how it would work out just with the weather conditions, but it really has been very entertaining. 3 tries apiece.
Say you don't want it to end, but we've got a big match tonight to get back and watch. So yeah, you know, hopefully an exciting end here, and then we can all get inside and enjoy the match tonight.
Scotland head to head with Ireland tonight. For now, well, our clock has been repaired. We can see there's 2 minutes left in this one. So I think from a Boroughmuir Bears perspective, the best that they can hope for here would be a draw. They've got to go about 80 metres upfield to get it. Really have to roll the dice here and keep the ball in hand. Joe Jenkins whips the ball out there to Callum Ram. They're still inside their 22 over on the far side of the pitch. Craig Keddy there, offering himself as a carrier. Josh Beveridge. Looks like they've opted to go for the contestable kick option rather than playing the rugby in their 22. So up it goes from Beveridge. Joe Jenkins did not get his timing right there at all. And that's a heavy fall for Dom Coetzer. It was brave from the Watsonians fullback as he went up to take that one. That's a heavy landing. I think thankfully seems to be okay. We'll have another look at this here.
Yeah, no, just
Let's just take a step back.
obviously bad timing there from Joe. You know Joe very well, and you know there's no malice in that. So you know, hopefully Coetzee there is okay. But you know, Joe doesn't mean to do any of these things. Sometimes when you've got your eye on the ball, it's hard to control your feet. But it's also just goes to show how important it is just to be aware of your surroundings as well.
I'm on high level.
You know, Coetzer seemed to do a somersault. I think maybe fortunately for him, because he did I think a full 360 and landed more on his back and his shoulder. That could have been really nasty had he landed on his head. So he's getting some treatment now, but the referee, just have a quick word with his assistant Bob Nevins over on the far side. But let's listen to what the referee's explaining here. I think, given what we've seen, no surprise to see the red card shown there to Joe Jenkins.
Yeah, I feel for Joe. You know, he's as I said, he's a player that turns up week in, week out, and he works really hard. And you know, he's is keen and eager to get a result for the Bears. He's passionate about what the Bears do. So you know, he's keen to win that ball back. And as I said, you know, just an unfortunate collision there, but you know, it's the right decision from the referee. Unfortunately, you know, safety is paramount, is key here. So, but as I say, good to see Coetzee back sitting up again. So, yeah, well, it was obviously a tough blow for the Bears.
Sorry, 52 seconds. It's just been 52 seconds, lads.
So thankfully, Watsonians fullback able to walk off. It seems okay. It could have been really nasty, and as Tom said, absolutely no malice in that from Joe Jenkins. Just got his timing badly wrong, showing the red card. So Boroughmuir Bears will close out this game down to 14 men. From Watsonians Rugby, with the icing on the cake here, it would appear the win in the bag as the clock ticks over the 80-minute mark. Well, maybe I've spoken too soon. That ball's been snapped up by Boroughmuir Bears. Can they go the length of the pitch? Currently back in their own 22. A hint of a high tackle there. Hear the reaction of the crowd. Finn Girage, the replacement hooker, hitting hard with his left shoulder there, but it's still with the Bears. Scott Robson. Watsonians defence just trying to keep Boroughmuir back in their 22. Break there by Andrew McLean. Well, the attempted break, but still struggling to get any go forward here against what's been a very solid Watsonians defence.
Time is up. Time is up.
McGinley now, you'll hear the referee saying time is up. Scott McGinley then with the carry, still back in their 22. Of course, can't kick it here. Their last roll of the dice for Boroughmuir Bears. Can they somehow get themselves up the other end and get themselves a draw from this match? Watsonians, for their part, will be desperate to get the ball back because they would like a crack at a bonus point try. Callum McFeet-Smith with the carry there. Ball comes out the back. Tip-on pass by Craig Keddy. Callum Hunter, on loan this evening from Falkirk, involved in the action.
Tackle, release line.
Andrew McLean trying to dance his way through the defence, but Watsonians just unwilling to give the Bears anything here. Craig Keddy again, tackled by Fingerage. And the penalty goes the way of Watsonians. Again, they will want a crack at that fourth bonus point try. Important for them at the top of the table. So 2 minutes into injury time here, but I don't think the game is quite done.
Yeah, no, they will be. They will. Yeah, they will want to get this this bonus point try. Bears obviously had to roll the dice there. Yeah, Bears had to roll the dice there, and unfortunately they do have a losing bonus point at the moment. But you know, as I said, it's a gamble that they were willing to take there. You know, they needed to probably get at least that extra point. They could have got the 2 points out of the match with a try bonus point and the draw. So it was a gamble worth taking, but obviously an opportunity here for Watsonians. And we've said it before, but quite sure we know where this is going to end up.
So Watsonians with about 9 metres or so to go if they want to take a try bonus point away from this game. Surely have the game in the bag now, trundling towards the try line. In come the reinforcements to drive them all towards the try line. It comes squirting out the back, tidied up by Scott Freddie Owsley. Tackled by Josh Beveridge, and in come the hands from Boroughmuir Bears. Well,
Callum Hunter on the ball, so yeah, good recruit from Graham Shield. So it could be a big turnover here.
well, of course they can kick the ball out. Well, I was assuming that they would kick the touch and take the line out there, but they've just kicked the ball off the field of play. So Tom, you're looking slightly perplexed by that decision. Let's quickly then, we'll come back to that, but our player of the match, a FOSROC player of the match, was just shown on the screen there, and unusually you've gone for a player on the losing side.
Yeah, I just thought Cleve's just been immense tonight. We saw on the previous match that it was not as close, and we said at the beginning of the game this was going to be a game that the management between the halfbacks was going to be key, and I just felt that when Clean was on, he was kind of heart and focus of a lot of good play in the Boroughmuir Bears attack and defence. So I think it was a well-deserved, loads of energy, and it was great to see him back in the Bears jersey.
The FOSROC player of the match is
the second half action, but the almost an anti-climax at the end there. Watsonians wasting the opportunity, if you like, to score the bonus point try, and we felt that the Bears would perhaps kick the touch, throw the line out and have a crack at, 7 points of difference, a converted try for a draw.
Yeah, they've obviously opted for the losing bonus point, but if they got that extra try, they could have got the bonus point and the draw, and they get 3 points from that, and they're creeping their way, and they're starting to look at that top four. So to be honest, I was quite surprised. I felt that they threw the dice in the 22 originally, gave away the penalty, but managed to win it back. So they've obviously changed their decision from that first play to the second. But I'm sure there's a reason towards it where their message has come down. But a really spirited performance from the Bears.
Well, confirmation on your screen of the full-time score at Meggetland. Boroughmuir Bears 17. Watsonians Rugby 24, so it's the visitors who will go back to Myerside with the win. No bonus point. They'll be happy with their evening's work. Let's take a look at the second half action. us descending here, or has long since descended rather, at Meggetland. In fact, we're going to have a look at all the tries. Let's go right back to the start. Arthur Allen's score 4 minutes into the game. The Bears hooker.
Yeah, great start from the Bears.
Conversion was missed. We'll have another look at it there. It really was a great start. We spoke about the fact they might be rusty. They had 3 weeks off, coming off 3 losses, but a very bright opening for the home side. Arthur Allen, the hooker, returning to the starting side with Corey Tate away with Glasgow. The conversion was missed, but Jake Kerr, the Watsonians hooker, with the reply about 12 minutes later as he plunged over from the line-out drive.
Yeah, we spoke about it, a bit of deja vu there, and this happened quite early on, and from the previous game I think they went over 3 or 4 times from that position. Jake Kerr getting 3 tries in the last outing. So what's pleasing to see is I thought Boroughmuir actually defended the driving maul for the rest of the game, and I'm not sure, they might have got one more driving attack a maul over the line, but Boroughmuir also turning over a few in that area of the pitch, so they'll take a lot of confidence from that.
Lee Miller with a conversion. And then this was the pick of the first half tries. The break by George Paul, Colleen Barreto supporting on the inside, and then the pop over the top to Alex Tom, the Bears outside centre.
Yeah, great try, probably my favourite of the night. Again, Colleen being a big part of that. Nice wee break from George Paul as well. I think had a very good game when he was on, and nice bit of skill from Colleen here, and Alex Tom finishing in the corner.
The score at half time, it was the home side who led by 12 points to 7. The second half was only 3 minutes old when Watsonians levelled things with the score by Quagga van Nieuwkerk.
If the Watsonians captain, you're coming good man.
Yeah, I don't know if
we'll get a look at it here. Yeah, it was the inside ball. It came from, I think, the only mistake by Colleen Barreto all evening, just unable to clean up a ball at the back, and then it was Kieran Watt with a charge into the 22. You can see Jake Kerr, I think, giving the pass inside to Watt, and then the scoring pass given to Quagga van Nieuwkerk, who came into the game more and more as the evening went on, and the conversion successful by Lee Miller. So at that point, the Watsonians had their noses in front by 14 points to 12.
Yeah, fortuitous try there. As I said, it was a wee mistake at the back. But I'd say all the play was probably with the Bears up until that point. In the lead up to that game, there was a questionable little knock on from a Watsonians player. So they took their opportunity and made the most of it. And then Watsonians clearly then had a little bit of momentum going into this part of the match. And this is what they do really well. And I think as Jake Kerr ends up going over for the score again.
It was, yes, the Watsonians pack is gradually gaining the upper hand as the game went on, and Jake Kerr, the hooker, is plunging over for his second try, his side's third try. And Lee Miller again with his third successful conversion, just curling that ball round. Took the score out to 21 points to 12. Just another look at that Lee Miller conversion. He made way for Jason Baggett. His only attempt at goal, he made no mistake, through between the uprights. And Watsonians led by 12 points at this stage, but we felt there was still more to come, and there was indeed. Zach Griffiths, the Boroughmuir's Bear hooker, only on the field of play a couple of minutes. He just looked up, saw space in front, and managed to spin his way over for the Bears' third try.
Yeah, after that third try from Watsonians, I was a little bit worried that there could have been a match that could have got away from the Bears, and history tells that can happen sometimes, especially with this experience and strength in the Watsonians. But really pleasing to see Boroughmuir stuck in the game, and then they made it a really exciting ending. And as you say, Zach Griffiths going over there, his first senior try, and well deserved, and an exciting player for the future.
Let's have a quick look at the other scores, or rather other score. Sadly, our game earlier this afternoon fell foul of the weather. I did wonder if this one might go the same way, but thankfully was played. We'll just quickly run you through those scores. I can tell you that Ayrshire Bulls beat the Southern Knights by 28 points to 0 at Millbrae last night in a Friday evening game. As they sadly, the game that should have taken place at Bridgehawk this afternoon didn't survive the weather, so that will be replayed at a later date. But we were certainly entertained with our evening match here at Meggetland. The final game of the weekend in the FOSROC Super Series Championship. As Tom said earlier, we've still got Scotland and Ireland to enjoy later on. But Tom, thank you for your input this evening. Great to have you here, and just confirmation there of the final score at Meggetland. Boroughmuir Bears 17, Watsonians Rugby 24.